I recently made a video on using ChatGPT to help you along with your PhD. And in just the last few days, Google has come out with its own generative AI tool known as Bard. Now, I've had an opportunity to test Bard, and I was like, well, if I made a video about ChatGPT, why don't I make a video about Bard? So this is what this video is about. So first of all, what you should know about Bard is that currently it's only in the English language. And then the second thing is that it's only open to people, I think, in the US and a few places in the UK. So they're currently beta testing it. It's in experiment mode, and I'm sure very soon it's going to be released to the general public, right? But I had an opportunity to test Bard, and actually I liked it. I think that my first impressions are that I don't think it's as robust as ChatGPT. And actually I had gone online to do a bit of a search for this video, and I had seen an article that said early testers think that ChatGPT is better than Bard. Now, that's all going to be very subjective depending on what you use ChatGPT for or what you use Google Bard for. And this is Google, right? So I do think that it's going to improve over time. However, one of the things that I really enjoyed when I was testing out Bard was I noticed that when you ask the AI a question or you give it a prompt, right, when the results show up, there is a Google It button. All right, now I really do think that this is a really good way for you to double check some of the prompts that you put in Bard. I don't think it's going to be useful for every single prompt, but I think it's going to be helpful for some of the prompts. So anyway, let me show you a few of the prompts that I gave Bard and the results that came up. So if you plan to be writing books and book chapters, I think that Bard and ChatGPT, any of these generative AI tools, can be very, very helpful in that regard. And so what I put in here was a prompt for Bard to give me an outline for a book I wanted to write for PhDs and early career researchers that want to go into the non-academic career world. And so this was the outline it gave me. Now, I think that this is a very loose outline. I could definitely build on this outline, right? But I think that if you are going to be writing a book or book chapters as part of your program, then this can be, or even after your program, right? Because so many of us will be in positions in and outside of academia. This can be a really good tool for you to outline book chapters. So I thought that it did a good job. It's still very loose, and I think you have to be more specific. Just like any generative AI tool out there, you have to be more specific, and you're going to get more specific information. I also used Bard to create a mind map for studying, and specifically I asked Bard to give me a mind map for studying photosynthesis for an upcoming exam. So again, you can take a complex topic, a complex subject, and ask these tools to give you, either to summarize the idea or to give you an explanation that is, broken down so you can understand it, or perhaps give you a mind map like this one that I have here for photosynthesis, and you're going to use that in your studying. So it can be a great study companion or study tool. I just thought that was excellent, and what it gave me really would be, when I was teaching biology at a community college, these would be the things that I want my students to study for photosynthesis for an exam. So great job, Bard. Giving Bard a few prompts, I also asked it to write me a LinkedIn profile, right? A LinkedIn description. I also did this for ChatGPT. So if you haven't watched that video, you should check out that video. But I also had done that for that video. It gave me a description, but I was not in love with it as much as I was in love with the ChatGPT one. So again, I think that there is some credibility to the people who are saying, oh, this is not as impressive as ChatGPT. But again, ChatGPT has had a few months on Bard, so let's give it time. I think it's going to still be a great tool. Now, as of the recording of this video, I haven't done a double check on this because somebody had brought it up when I had done the ChatGPT video. I did search for some publications in a particular subject within Google Bard. So I did provide it with a prompt to provide me with some top peer-reviewed papers on a specific subject. It did give me papers, but now I have to go back and check each one of them. And by the time I post this video, I think I would have that. So check here to see what the results were. Check somewhere on the screen. I'm going to write it there. It's important that if you're going to use any part of this for your work, that you double check things. Yes, you can give it a prompt to write you articles and write you essays and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you're the human, and it's artificial intelligence. It's artificial, okay? It's not natural. So you really, even though these tools are doing phenomenal jobs, right, based on the data that have been fed it, I really do think that, again, it's so important for you to double check, triple check things so that you can really use these tools as aids in your process, and not just with your educational process. I think it can be applied to so many areas of our lives, and I will be making more videos on using generative AI to build your career. So when it comes to these tools, again, I'm going to share that sentiment that I shared in the earlier videos, that they are tools. They make mistakes. They even make things up, as I shared in the video where I was like, beware, okay? It's really important that you use this as the tool that it is, and then go back, of course, to cross-check and double-check things to make sure things are accurate. Because the last thing you want to do is submit an article or submit a book that is made up of made up facts, okay, or facts that are all jumbled up, but that look, they're organized so well by these artificial intelligence tools. Those are my initial impressions of Bard. Let me know, have you tested Bard? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below if you have. How do you think it compares to ChatGPT? All that good stuff. Let me know in the comments below.